configuration of jumbled wires, electrodes, anodes, cathodes, coils, monoatomic ormus being produced, plasmids, self-organization, hydrogen, a lot off this guy. Oops, can't rotate. There we go. But so there's one power source, the anode, connected here to this zinc plate, and then the cathode on this jar over here to this copper coil. And then I've got another wire connected to that guy to the cathode. Negative, but not really doing much on this jar. It's more transferring through this jar, but that the anode and cathodes are two different jars, so the current has to connect through the other jars and metals and coils to complete the circuit. And thus produces monoatomics and hydrogen out of all of the jars, off of one little 5-volt USB connection. Been doing a bunch of computer video editing as well. Work never ends. Still have to correspond and get back to a whole bunch of emails. More episodes, interviews, projects coming. Free Energy Friday, probably later today, with the Fringe Science Think Tank. So here's the one power source, 5 volts, and this is the cathode. And then anode on that side. That coil really bubbling away, connected through the other two jars. And more video editing. And making coils. And more coils. And it's 9:11 a.m. Well past the sunrise and my vampiric bedtime. But luckily, I am a day walker too, and don't melt when the sun rises. So I've got a whole ridiculous amount of books written, lab notes of experiments, of different ways that I'm going to be connecting these and building circuits and batteries out of this stuff, as well as putting different frequencies and tones and yeah, we'll start with that. Then also some lasers. Gotta start doing. Stupid light's too bright. Yeah, so gotta start sending a bunch of this stuff out to the lab so they can start experimenting with it, putting different, microwave terahertz, rotating it super fast. There's all sorts of real potential anti-gravity effects and fusion transmutations experiments that I want to have done and conduct myself as well to actually harness the superconductive and antigravitic properties of the monatomic plasma state metal elements. Right, gotta make the colloidal silver and gold, so that's a silver coin right there. So this is making the colloidal copper and silver in this one, and that's actually silver wire coil, negative coil as well, so 2 silvers in this one. And then coppers and zinc. Silver coil and zinc. And coppers and zinc. And you can see that the coppers are turning to the different colored states. That one kind of going red. These ones in the blue, greenish. This one's in black, a black state right there. And that one down there is in the pink red. Illustrate the colors. You can see the pink, the blue, the black states that all just different transmutational states of copper, of Isaac Newton's color scale of transmutational metals. These coils also the black state. That one turning to red, pink. Black nano-coated wire. can see the glistening crystal state. Pink crystal state. See the reflection off the pink crystalline state, as well as a white nanotube that had grown since disconnected from the black top layering. This one is blood that is still suspended. It's been sealed now for like at least 4 or 5 years, if not longer, of mine that I made with monoatomic gold silver combination, and instead of the particles settling, it has remained animated and suspended in the solution since being sealed. Fascinating. We'll come back to that in a second as it starts settling. I'm hearing more hydrogen bubbling off of this stuff. You can see all the little plasmid clusters of enormous monoatomic GANs collecting and just super suspended despite the currents, and then straight monoatomic material below the clusters up top. That's who's playing right now. In the background, if you hear the music. Styles Beats. Here we can really see monatomic material growing. Oops. Get a better light up there. See the rate of hydrogen. It's actually quite a lot. Focus. And that one's not plugged into the cathode, which is surprising, but it's bubbling the most. This guy is the one that's actually connected to the negative current. And it's bubbling just a little bit. And the sink is bubbling a little bit. So many different experiments to do, and videos, and interviews, and projects on the go. It never ends. The work never ends, but that's okay, because we're making progress. That's what it's all about, right? Making progress. Getting things done. And one last thing I will do in this live stream. And sorry, I haven't really been able to pay attention much to the comments so far, but the agricultural alchemy and watering with some of the purple gold silver. The garden did an agricultural alchemy. And as we walk up to the garden, this is the segment. That is the segment. Gold silver colloidal water. No alchemical colloidal water. Colloidal ormus water. And we give a little to the beets, a little to the lettuce, a little to the romaine lettuce, more beets, And a kale. Right, so you only ever pour the top clear, dissolved colloidal water. And the ormus or monatomics or plasmid cluster material, it stays in and then refills and makes more. Again, you can see the difference in size. Some new colloidal, although it looks like it did oxidize a little bit. Silver. And more silver. Then it turns black. And we get the purples. And we got the pure whites. So this one, obviously, I stirred. The ones that I film where it's actually moving on its own, I have not stirred up like I just did in this jar. Just wanted to make that clarification. Alrighty. Back in we go. Einstein on the $100 bill. Tesla and Warncliffe with some samurai ninja ass next. And then we got Crypto Burndo, the Fembot Burndo. Yeah, Burndo the Fembot. Shout out Alox, rest in peace, brother. Man that did majority of the art in my studio. Okay, we can see that this one has settled down now. Bert and Ernie hard at work. So then next what I'm doing is I will be cutting the power to these jars, and all of the different circuits and anode, cathode, electrode connectors that I have with the different metals and coils will actually rebalance themselves and start producing current and hydrogen all on their own, and not at as high a powered rate, of course, but nonetheless, with zero input will be going into them at that point. Oh yeah, like this stuff. Like now that I've got it harvested in that jar, I will be rinsing out the salt water. I'll be taking rinse out this top salt water, then the material at the bottom I will then put into a much larger empty jar where I will then give it 9 rinses of fresh water to get all of the salts and other pollutants out of it before using it for the agricultural alchemy experiments. Of course, first always testing the water on plants, both to make sure you got all the salt out. If you don't get the salt out, it's going to kill your plants. That's number one. But then number two, to make sure that once all the salt's out, that also doesn't kill your plants, but instead helps your plants grow. At which point, I have been guinea pigged and consumed some myself in the waters that I consume from. But I do not recommend poisoning yourself with the oxidized blue, green, red, orange, yellow hydrides, hydroxides, all not good and will give you heavy metal poisoning very quickly. Anything like this would poison you, make you very, very ill. It's have to be very careful with what you're doing, what you touch, what you consume. But if you know what you're doing, might just have power of the gods. If the legends are true about palpable gold, white manigold prana, is that what we have? I think so. I think electrochemistry, alchemy was the key, is the key. Rediscovering it with me. Alright. I think on that note, 28 minutes, 28 seconds in, right as I said that. And it's probably time for me to shut her down. Call her a day night. Let's get up in time to do Free Energy Friday, Fringe Think Tank with Ben, Nathan, Gerald, and League of Extraordinary Inventors, Mike Faraday Research, and the rest of the crew. We'll see how all of we do later today when we're back. Have a blessed one. A ta-ta for now.